Hey, honey?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Geeky Grind. I'm your board barista Fen, and this is my once a week I talk nerdy to you and tell you what I've been doing nerd-wise. It does not relate to Star Wars Unlimited because that is all handled on Wars Wednesday. So, what did I do nerdy this week? Well, this episode's coming out later in the day. Normally, you get these first thing in the morning. This is more, dinner time for everybody. Because I wanted to talk about what I did last night, which is play a crazy RPG that I found called Goblin with a Fat Ass. And it's a very simple, there's only 2 rules pages. I'll put a link to them in the comment section down below. But you're playing as a goblin with a large booty, and the bigger your booty, the more powerful of a goblin you are. And your job is to go and loot, go steal something from somebody. It's got random tables to help you generate that. I skipped the random tables and came up with my own idea. I found this, before I dive into the game that I ran, I just found this scrolling through YouTube. Somebody was just like doing a YouTube short of like talking about how the character generation process goes. And I was like, that's amazing, because of course you roll for the size of your booty, you determine how you got it, like your backstory, and then you roll for a class, so you can get like, we had 2 goblins that were blessed by a nymph, and another one was just like fought in the Goblin Wars. Those were their backstories, and one of them was a wizard, one of them was a priest, the other one was a thief. And their mission was that an artificer had stolen a 3-inch tall golden statue, little idol, from their village. And years ago, the goblins have been trying to track down and find this golden idol forever. And the guy who stole it was an artificer and put it inside of a pinball machine in his bar when he retired. And that's where the goblins found out about it. And the goblin tribe has sent tons of goblins in trying to steal and get this thing back, but of course it's a pinball machine, so the minute you start bumping it around or messing with it, it's going to go tilt and light up and buzz and everything like that, draw everybody's attention and get you caught. So they were given a trench coat and 3 vials of shrinking potion because there was 3 goblins. The clearly message I was sending my players was, dude, you guys are going to have to climb, shrink down, climb into this pinball machine, steal the idol, and get out of the bar with it. And one of my players figured this out. He got himself shrunk down. He's adventuring in through the pinball machine. The other player, who clearly, my buddy Josh Sennett, who never wants to play on script, he always wants to go off and mess it up, is basically taking my idea to do a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids inspired game of you're shrinking down to incredible size and going through this whole little mission. He took that and turned it into an Ace Ventura Pet Detective episode where he grabs his butt cheeks and makes them talk while he's bent over, so his butt's facing the person he's talking to. He's distracting the artificer the entire time that the thief is shrunk down to miniature size, trying to get through the pinball machine to get the idol and get out safely. Well, the healer is just kind of standing around doing nothing because, well, that's what the healer does. Nobody's in danger of getting damaged right then. So so when he sees that the thief is starting to try to push the idol out through the coin return slot, he reaches down, pulls it out, shoves the thief and the idol in his pocket. After the wizard had cast off to turn everything in the bar off, including the spell that he had on the person the artificer was trying to charm, shuts the pinball machine off, turns the candles off, ends up disrupting and putting an end to a few dates. But it was a whole thing of like, they're like, is it on? I was like, no, Josh cast off. Everything is off. even the shrinking spell got turned off, and the goblin in the pocket starts slowly getting bigger in size. So the healer has to shove the vial of shrinking potion down into his pocket and pour it straight down into the growing goblin's mouth. And they finally, as he's running off to try to stop to get away with the idol and his shrunken friend safely back to their village, while Josh's character stays and seduces the artificer and ends up marrying the artificer. And it was just a crazy WTF ending, because I basically, like, as soon as they got the idol in the pocket along with the goblin and started booking it, they ran. The adventure's over, so I just let Josh do whatever he wanted, and what he wanted to do was marry the artificer and work together and have goblin human babies. So that's Josh. But we did the whole thing like 3 years later, you see your friend finally returned to the village with the artificer, and your friend's in a wedding dress. So yeah, it was a crazy game, really fun, really simple. I think Josh was getting a little frustrated with me because I threw him a curveball. He's using his goblin magic to try to... He's doing too much with the spell when there's no actual spell, because there is no spells in this game. It's kind of just like make it up as you go along. So he's like, you need to give me the pinball machine, and blah 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 blah, and because I'm a gnome, and he just kept talking after the whole, like, give me the pinball, let me leave with the pinball machine. He would have done that very simple, not, talking out of his butt, trying to make the guy, like, I'm like, dude, he's like arguing, because I'm like, yes-anding him. I'm like, yeah, I'm agreeing to what you're saying, but he's like, you're not agreeing to the letting me take the pinball machine. I'm like, you're overloading the spell. You're doing too much with it. He's clearly convinced that he's talking to a gnome while he's talking to you, clapping your back side together as you talk. He's believing everything. It's taking a lot of magic in order to bluff this guy to just have a conversation with your backside. If you're stretching the magic too thin here, and he's just like, ah. So we set up a little ticking clock thing. I had some paint bottles sitting on my desk from my last painting project, so I just kept setting items on the thing. I'm like, okay, you got 5 items, and I'm going to move one over every time. Both of you get successful rolls, but if one of you flubs up, then I'm going to be like, oh, you're going to have to take another action. So Josh was having to do, the timer was for the thief inside the pinball machine, and the it was all like, okay, Josh, keep the guy talking, keep the guy talking, keep the guy talking, keep using your magic, keep him talking to you. And no, it turned out really well. I really like this. It's really good for a one-shot games. It's what it's designed to do, is actually one-shots. Had this has this like 12 countdown clock here, where anytime anybody rolls a 1 or fails a roll, you mark off, and when they've had 12 ones have been rolled in the night, that's when everything like goes crazy. That's the whole we gotta go, we gotta get out of here, we're all going to die. Run. Game over. You need to get out of here. And I like games with a countdown timer. I like having that built in where it's like it's not only does it really set like the pace of the game, it sets the whole thing of like there is going to be an endpoint, and having it be based off of failures. I think that's cool that the clock gets progressed like that. I was definitely clearly going to have the whole thing of, while he's in the, like, my plan was originally for the game, because it was Honey I Shrunk the Kids, the shrinking potion was going to wear off when the countdown thing, and I was only going to give him like 2 rounds. It's like, you guys are getting bigger, you got to get out of here, so you're going to be too big to fit anymore, and you're going to get trapped and crushed inside the pinball machine. But luckily nobody got crushed and trapped inside the pinball machine. They actually ended with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They had 5 failures. They actually finished it with 5 failures still left before like on the doomsday clock. So they did pretty good. They only used up a little bit over half of their failures that they had built into this game, and I like it. I think my players are going to want to play this again sometime. But I'm having some fun running some zany, crazy little one-shots for D&D. So, yeah, no, if you haven't tried this game, go pick it up. Come up with an idea of who needs to be robbed, what needs to be taken from them, and why do goblins want this, and you've got yourself an adventure right there in the bag. And that's what all I got to say. So let me know, what's your one-page, I'm counting double-sided, one-page RPG, what's your favorite one? Comment that one down below, and see you next week for some more Geeky Grind on Sunday. Peace.
Hey everybody, thanks for staying till the end of the episode. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on Facebook at Board Barista Productions. And if you want to support us, Patreon link at the bottom.